We don't play the social game. We are social. Power 98.5.
Hey, this is Wesley Dean. I'm going to be hanging with Steve Cuoco on Power 98.5. Come check us out. See you there.
You're listening to Power 98.5, powered by United Angels Dream, your number one resource for public relations, entertainment, and multimedia. Contact them today at unitedangelsdream.com.
Hi, this is Dan Aykroyd. He's progressive. He's beautiful. He's thoughtful. He's intelligent. He's powerful. He's positive. He is Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 Satellite Radio.
Prepare yourself. Okay, let's go.
Empowering listeners from the US to the UK. Live on air with Stephen Cuoco.
All my days, all my nights, I've been waiting for you. Since the dawning of my time, I've been waiting for you. There's nobody else but you. All I want is you. We'll build a dream for two. And all I want is you. Gonna hold you close, I promise you. Give you everything, the best that I can do. All my days.
Mr. Wesley Dean, I Still Wait for You. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live on air with Stephen Cuoco, live from New York on Power 98.5. We have Mr. Wesley Dean, all the way from Australia, in the house. Good evening, Wesley.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. How you feeling?
I'm great. Yeah, I'm good. I'm sitting in the sun at the moment, so I'm not sure what time it is over there. It's probably 5 p.m. or something like that. Yeah, but I'm on my way to Nashville, so it's sort of been a strange year, obviously, for everyone in the world, but even stranger to organise an overseas relocation from Australia to America. But I'm on my way, so it's looking up. Yeah.
When are you coming? When are you arriving?
January. I'll be there and ready to hit the ground running. You know, my music's really resonating over there at the moment online on social media, on Instagram mainly, which has been such a blessing this year without any touring or any, obviously anything like that. So, I'm really looking forward to sort of hopefully touring next year sometime, whenever it opens back up. And it's all happening. It's been a bit of not a surprise, but for me, I've been in the music business in Australia since I was really young, since I was about 8 years old, singing, and that's what I do. That's who I am. It's my number one passion in life. But I sort of, I'm not surprised, but I'm humbled by the support I'm getting in America now. It's pretty awesome. And every day I wake up to really great messages and everything online about my music, and where it's finding its own lane. It's finding its own rhythm, which is pretty cool.
What is incredible is you're young. You're still in your 30s.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You have an incredible past. After reading your bio, knowing where you were at in the 90s at the age of 14, what you experienced with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
How
Mm-hmm.
has that affected you as a kid, personally, professionally, as an artist?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've come to the conclusion a few years ago now, but that everything is a lesson, and everything is a blessing, either good or bad. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, because horrific things happen, and thank God I haven't experienced some of the horrific things that you hear about or read about or whatever. But in my own life, there's definitely been some trauma and turmoil. Like, everyone has a certain element of that, and we can only understand from our own level of perception and whatever we're going through in life. So for me, the biggest traumas in my life, that have occurred, were definitely my blessings, my lessons, and I translated that into music and into my craft, into my passion, and we all learn every day, anyway. But I think the trick is that Dylan said, "Don't look back," and my next song, here's an exclusive. My next song is called "Don't Look Back" after "Walk on Your Way" is out. But I think you look back to the lessons, but you don't dwell on the lessons. You sort of learn from them and move on quickly, swiftly, and learn to always learning to live in the now, always learning to be present, even though it's almost become an unnatural state to be in the present, because we're always looking at our screens or thinking about our next move or dwelling on the past. That's us as human beings. But yeah, to answer your question, I guess is everything is a blessing in the end of it. At the end of the day.
As when we were sharing, and thank you for that, Wesley, before we came live, is I believe a master's, a student, and a teacher all at the same time. And with
Yes,
that,
of course.
you as a teacher, I believe your gift is being a reminder. I'm sure that if you were, whether being a human or an angel, that you're someone that will constantly remind. And it goes back to what you had shared. And it says here in about, my writing has always been a reflection of life experiences and society. When you brought your writing to the A&R staff and labels, you say that they couldn't handle it. I remember one guy in particular telling me to come back to him when I was 40.
Yeah, well, so the story is that I was 14 and I was 12 actually, and my mum and dad broke up after quite a tumultuous sort of relationship, and it was a big thing. 12, I guess. It's a pretty nasty age to sort of go through. A divorce of any kind or whatever, a breakup or the rug being pulled out of you, whatever it is, And at the time, it was pretty uncertain for me, and I had no idea. At 12, you'd have no idea who you are. But I moved from a small town called Adelaide, where I grew up in Australia, and went to Sydney to play. I thought, well, I'm going to play some shows. I'm going to get myself some gigs and and live the dream that way. And I ended up on a bar stool for many years, playing my own songs to 7 people in a bar. But those lessons were absolutely, I draw from those lessons every day of how to survive, how to get paid for your craft. It was a time, it was late 90s, early 2000s when I was sort of and I was 14, 15, trying to get my own gigs around Sydney town, and they would sort of put me on a bar stool at 11 o'clock at night, and then I'd get up for school the next day, sort of thing. I was always growing up on stage, and really, I guess, challenging myself, always putting myself into these kind of challenging situations to grow and learn, and a very insatiable sort of personality, especially when it comes to my music. And I'm a bit of a perfectionist in a way, where I like things to be perfect but not too perfect. It has to have a bit of rawness about it in order to then communicate on a deeper level. I think there's something to be said about raw music still in an age of digital music. I think the raw stuff is, I guess it's underrated these days, maybe. But yeah, so I went off on a tangent then. Sorry, mate. But for me, I think I guess all of those situations that I had as a young kid, I had to grow up really quickly. I had to learn really fast. I had to think on my feet. I had to make sure that I survived, because it's very easy in a place in Australia. It's very easy to give away your passions really early and go get a real job, and go sell your dreams and go work for the man, get a good trade, that'll look after you for the rest of your life. And I think this year especially, it's thrown a big curveball to a lot of people. I think a lot of people are revisiting that now. They're revisiting their passions. They're reliving their youth, and they're thinking really long and hard about where they're at in their lives. And I think if we're going to take a blessing out of this year, I think that's definitely one of them, is that a lot of people are getting back to their home ground again, getting back to their soul again. And I think that's fair to say. So
I love the transparency and the fluidity that you have right now. I enjoy the flow.
Thanks, man. Yeah. Well, what have you got if you don't have the flow? You got writer's block, which is not what I want.
No, not.
So, yeah.
I believe through your messaging, your music, being a storyteller, a musician, an artist, as well as a vocalist. I think most people miss what I usually don't hear when someone talks about musicians, and someone like yourself and the caliber that you are, that I see a difference between the musician and a vocalist, even though both have a distinct narrative and can tell a compelling story. There's still two different identities that happen to blend in one, because not everyone can be a musician and a vocalist at the same time the way that you can.
Oh, thank you. My favorite musicians and artists are all the people that would write from the bare bones on guitar or a piano. So John Lennon or Joe Cocker. If we want to talk about singers, I guess Joe. For me, I had the pleasure of meeting Joe a few times and got to know his band, and that was a bit of a far out story. I mean, I'm speaking, talking of things like law of attraction and those sort of things. I mean, I grew up with my dad doing these really strange impersonations of Joe Cocker at the dinner table, and then all of a sudden there I was standing in a room backstage with Joe a few times and talking to him about music and talking about trying to pick his brains as much as I could. But and I was that was sort of 10 years ago or so now. He was a beautiful man, but I guess speaking of Joe Cocker, his vocal, you could hear, it was almost like he could play a chord through his voice. It's just an incredible study of musicianship. Although he didn't play a music instrument, his voice was an instrument. It was something that you could feel every single part of him and his soul and what he was trying to communicate. And to the back part of the stadium or the theatre or wherever he was playing at the time, the back row could feel what the front row were feeling, And so that's what I like to. That's what I want. I strive to achieve every time I sing. Is I want the person to really feel the message and to really understand that I mean it. When I'm singing, I mean what I sing, and these words aren't just to fill in space in the song. It's something that I take a lot of time to really craft and make sure that every single word there is translating something that I want somebody else to get out of it and take it away for their own positive thing in their own lives. And that's the power of music. I think, was it Eric Church the other day saying, that was a nice quote about how he really believes that music is going to save the world. And, you know, I think it's a pretty good statement, that one. I think music has always been there when we need it. You know, it's something that is such a healing force in the world. And, you know, it's such an honor to be able to do it every day. It's pretty cool.
I would like to give a shout out to your manager, Jeff Murray, for setting this up. And
he's a legend.
He is. And I can't wait for you to come to the States, because I got to meet you. And I shared with Jeff, I said, when you perform, I said, I've got some film and camera equipment I want to bring and get a nice media pass, front row and center when you're performing.
Yes, please, man. That'd be fantastic. You're very welcome. Anytime.
What I have and where I have the opportunity of getting to know you through your music, through your narrative, your story, is you feel as though you are someone, and as you shared, you know, you've had to grow up fast. There were lessons in life experiences that has led you to where you're at today with having no regrets. Yep. You come across to me, and I feel it's very loud, at least with the messages to me, to understand your meaning and being, is that you're someone that has an extremely powerful mind. And one of the things is that I feel that you've come into this world with a feeling and belief of knowing who you are, what you want, and you're not someone that's going to be influenced. You're not someone that's influence, meaning manipulated, coerced. You're very keen on picking up when someone is leading you or dictating you. And you're very clever and intelligent. And I hear it in your words. I hear it through the inflection when you sing. It's very, very powerful, but yet subtle, of messages that you are a man, a musician, a vocalist, an artist that has strength. And what you are choosing to do is to say, here is the story. Here is my life. Here is who I am. I'm Wesley Dean. And with that, there is also a very clear understanding not to confuse who you are and your capabilities, and most importantly, your mental strength.
Yeah. I think with that, it just comes with life and experience. And for me, you know, I've learned a great deal along the way. I've been in some pretty amazing scenarios and met some pretty incredible people by doing what I do. And I've been in rooms, rubbed shoulders with so many, amazing people. And for me, I guess I take a little bit from column A and a little bit from column B sort of thing with everyone. And I love talking about philosophy, and you know, I've always loved that, and esoteric things, or you know, spiritual things, or religion, or how we've history, architecture. You know, I love everything about, you know, asking questions as to why we're all here. What are we doing here? You know, and then you know, and reading up about. You know, a good one for me is George Harrison, you know, from the Beatles, you know, and his spiritual journey. And I love reading up about those kind of people that went to the highest of the highs, you know, and realized, and he looked around and he realized, well, there's got to be something else. And I'm really intrigued by that, and his spiritual journey, and many others as well, obviously too. But, you know, I read a lot of texts and books and poetry and whatever, and but I guess it all comes back to sort of what I pick up on and what I learn and what resonates with me, and then I try and translate it into my own words. And I believe songwriting is sort of like you're sort of like the antenna. I think it was Keith Richards who said that. I'm not sure whether he said this or not, but I heard that he'd said something like this: was that you're sort of like an antenna. You're sort of I'm not sure where some of the stuff comes from sometimes when I'm writing songs. It just sort of lands in your lap, and then you have to then make sense of it. And so it's definitely, for me, songwriting is a spiritual practice. And I get up every day and I try to I get up early every day and I make sure that I'm practicing my craft straight away. And I'm always thinking about the next song and the next piece of art that I'm going to create, whether it's on a symphony level where I'd love to get into film. I'd love to be able to write music scores and things one day. And so, yeah, it's just, it never ends. It never ends, man. Speaking of flow, it never ends. Mm-hmm. It's always flowing. So, yeah.
To envision you, let's say in a film, Wesley, you mm-hmm. remind me of a soldier from a different timeline that had decided through all of your experience of effort, love, selflessness, which all is encompassed within what I hear within your inflection, your tone, your music, that it's like you've come back from somewhere. And it's like you've decided that I really feel, and what I'm hearing is, it's like if you're, once again, a soldier, someone that has come back from war, help to make it about everything and everyone else, to help save, to help procure, to help nourish, to help support. You were that father, that supporter, that brother, that confidant, that caregiver. And I believe you are making it at this point in time in your life in a very, very healthy way about you. And I believe with that self-care, exactly, with that self-care and that understanding of what it means to be in a place of health and wealth and still yet have that balance, because you're someone that, and I'm only assuming that your management knows this, but if to know you and understand you, you're someone that will take input very well. You will consider the facts or what someone may deem to be facts, and you will interpret it in what it means to you. But you begin with making a final decision, and you end it making a final decision. It's very nice.
Spot on. How do you know that?
It's a very easy feeling.
That is spot on. I've never heard. It's amazing that you've actually sort of summed up a bit of my process there in a way of, it is like that. If I were to sit down and write a song about something, that's right. I've already made up my mind as to where it's going. But it takes a while to, I try to make myself so educated to the point where, okay, I've arrived at that scenario, but then when I sit down to write a song, my only choice is to leave it open for everyone else's interpretation, because who am I to say, hey, this is what you should believe in, guys? It's more about, this is what I think. How about you? And they're the best kind of songs. All you need is love. Here. It's those kind of songs resonate because you're not dictating to a certain audience. Obviously, you are just sharing your own interpretation, but leaving it up to the listener to have their own interpretation. I think it's the greatest communication or conversation we can have is through music.
I would love to play live Are You Gonna Save My World? It feels very appropriate in this moment.
Yeah, great, man. Please do.
Are You Gonna Save My World by Wesley Dean.
Well, I met a mystic woman, she told me she was in love. She couldn't get used to it, so she gave it up. She traded lovers for liquor and freedom for fact. She don't like telling stories, cause she don't look back. She said, are you gonna save my world tonight? Are you gonna save my world? Are you gonna save my world? She said, you can try, but we all fade to black. Fade to black. She said, look at my white privilege humor, right? You got to get to know yourself to ask the question why. Why do we keep killing each other, white, yellow, black? We all bleed red, don't forget, we all know that. Are you gonna save my world tonight? Are you gonna save my world? Are you gonna save my world? She said, you can try, but we all fade to black. Fade to black, we ain't never coming back. 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 All this getting older, can't cheat the hand of time. And all this getting older, just look on the right side of life. Don't try to make it right. Keep up with this thing called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. If you got a difference of opinion, your opinion's just an onion. Keep peeling it slowly, see you'll end up with nothing. And nothing is something, and something is somewhere. So how you don't know that it's somewhere if it's not right here? She said, are you gonna save my world tonight? Are you gonna save my world? Are you gonna save my world? She said, you can try, but we all fade to black. Fade to black. We ain't never coming back. Black, we ain't never coming back. Black, we ain't never coming back. Black, we ain't never coming back. Are you gonna save my world tonight? Are you gonna save my world? Are you gonna save my world? She said, you can try, but we all fade to black. Follow the light till we fade to black. Follow the light till we fade to black.
I feel like having a glass of scotch. It does. You give that feeling that, like, I really feel like a Tennessee, just, you really exude the Australian. I don't feel like I'm in the States right now, honestly.
It's great, man. Oh, well, you know, I like, to be honest, I sort of, it's sort of, I don't know where the music comes from sometimes. It just all happens. And when I listen back to it, I just think, oh, okay, well, that's me. Yeah, right.
If you were on NBC The Voice, I guarantee you Blake Shelton would turn around for you.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, look, I as you know, I sort of had my fair share in Australia with Australian Idol, you know, and that was such a great time for me. And just looking back, it's, you know, it was 12 years ago now when I won Australian Idol here in Australia. And, you know, for me, it was such a surreal sort of experience because I'd only just been in, you know, bands or playing solo around Sydney bars and clubs and on tour in Australia and in back of a a six-seater van, with the drum kit and the amplifiers, and everything in between, and you're sitting amongst drum kits for 14 hours as you drive to the next town to set up and play in front of 30 people, and then all of a sudden, boom, Idol happens, and you're sort of you're at the, for us it was the Sydney Opera House, and the fireworks were going off, and everyone's chanting your name. It is a very surreal experience, and something that I really cherish. And for me, my music is this brand new music is sort of represents more about my own artistry, I guess, and it's kind of these days I'm almost standing behind, letting the music sort of speak for itself and letting the music kind of find its own audience. And so, those shows are fantastic, and they're great for getting your profile heard and your name out there as well. But like for me, I think because I've done that, I'd sort of now want to sort of be able to just kind of play my music and see where it takes me and see where it leads me, and I think there's something kind of cool in that way that, there's some, I don't know, there might be some security there for me, but also I'm interested as an experiment in this day and age to see what my music can do more so than what my celebrity can do, if that makes sense, without being too dividing. I'm trying to work out what I'm trying to say, but for me, it's what I'm saying is it's more about the music these days for me. Yeah.
I've been in the industry for 28 years, and I'm going to tell you, I guarantee you this, especially from the interpretation I get from you, Wesley. You will not be misunderstood. Your position will not be misunderstood. And I did share with your manager that I would love to see you on, as I shared with Jeff Murray, say NBC, The Voice, whatever. Here's the thing. Here in the States, and this is only my perspective from understanding film and television and my part of the industry, is radio and television is power.
For sure.
Someone such as yourself, as seasoned as you are, as old but new life as you are, very multidimensional as you are, if you were to do the bar thing, okay, but I think you're bigger than that. I said not better, I said bigger than that. If you were to do touring, great, but I also believe that you're bigger than that if you don't have thousands of people there. And great, you come here to the States and you start somewhere, you start everywhere, understandably. I just would love to see you remain as close to that echelon level of large events, obviously due to the pandemic, and they're going to do whatever they're going to do to keep everything. Even when the vaccine comes out, they're still going to have to do a test run. God only knows when you guys can perform. So you're left with radio and television. If you can find and get yourself as regularly on either one or both, on a platform where you still know that you're able to keep your integrity and you're able to not deviate from your true narrative, I would say do it. Because right now, even post-pandemic, once this vaccine comes out, really how successful, especially for someone like yourself that's coming here, and you're not a startup, but to say you're going to be in a transition. But I even believe that Ariana Grande, Shawn, like everybody in the music industry is going to have to reboot, whether you're starting out or you're already seasoned, because everyone's been gone for far too long.
Of course. Yeah, exactly. Good point. Very good point.
And what I've been finding, real quick, if I may add, is there are tons of artists like yourself that are so up and coming that have been taking now this pandemic during this time since December, January of this year, and they are segueing their music in the hundreds of thousands to the millions across the board, that realistically, is it going to be necessary to be performing in a bar or doing concerts and worrying about the bullshit of trying to sell tickets or working with, these venues that are going to worry about your name or worry about the number scheme? It's all about status and integrity. You've got all that. The number one thing I'm telling you right now, please do not start at the bottom, because it's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Yeah, I mean, we are all on a level playing field in some respects, absolutely, as artists these days. And the number one tool that I sort of see is, you've got an iPhone, you can create your own music career, in a way. But yes, what you're saying with the TV radio thing, I think, coming from Australia, it's a very different landscape than in America, I guess. But yeah, it's mate. I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. I haven't thought about any of that. So yeah, I'm going to have to go and meditate for a few days on that one, I guess. Yeah,
you're going to be fine. But, I'm not worried for you.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I know that. I do know that in my heart, and that's what keeps me going really every day, because sometimes I question my sanity being a musician. I sort of think, wow, I'm still doing this. I'm still doing it since I was, I was singing professionally at 8 years old in a group down in Australia called the Young Talent Team, which is a bit like the Mickey Mouse Club in America. And so that's where I sort of got my apprenticeship, I guess, in singing and performing and being on stage. And so it's been since I was 8 years old, really, and I'm still doing it. And it's what's that? I'm not going to say how many years, but it's it's been literally nearly a lifetime. Well, yeah, 8 years shy of a lifetime. So yeah.
Do you believe music and songwriting has saved you, enlightened you, in a way that has prevented you from going down a darker path? And or do you believe that those set skills of being a musician, a vocalist, a songwriter, do you believe that it's more that you're doing and helping other people to stay on the right path? Or is it all the above?
I think it definitely has healed many wounds in my life, definitely. It's been my number one constant in my life. I think, I don't know what I would have done without music. I think I would have just been, I'm not qualified of anything. I don't have any other interests, really. I don't, I'm a pretty useless handyman, which is, I'm getting to the point where it's like embarrassing now, as a man to not know what to do with his car if it breaks down or how to fix the toilet or whatever. But it's just been something I've always done, and it's got me out of a lot of, compromising scenarios in a way where if I hadn't been on stage, I would have probably been the drunkest person in the room, and I would have made a fool of myself, and which I've, we've all done that, I guess, in some way. But, there is a certain level of addictive personality that you have as an artist. You have to be sort of a little obsessed to I guess, be on the pursuit to master your craft. And so if I hadn't had music, I could have been a destructive situation. Who knows? I mean, but that's another one of those blessings I was talking about. It's like, well, you have to have something in your life that's going to be your number one constant. And you know, whether it's your job or, you know, whether it is being a plumber or whether it is being a tradesman, I always have this sort of mindset of like, well, if you're going to be that, then be the best at it, or strive to be the best at it and give it all you have, because what else do you have in your life? That's what creates your own identity and your own self-worth in life is when you find your own passion in life. I think that's the number one thing. And then, you know, when you have kids and you pass that on, you know, and then the new generation grows up with that mindset. And so, yeah, that's sort of my something that I've, you know, that's my I guess my, I don't know, what do you call it, legacy I want to leave is to always be remembered for somebody that's always gone after their own passion in life instead of retreating back out of fear or out of somebody, oh no, you can't do that, you know, or somebody to say, oh, I told you so. You know, those are the words that are the most destructive, you know, the guilt and the fear and those sort of things that we all like to torment ourselves with all the time in life, you know. So yeah, I'm always open to sort of anything, kind of all the possibilities of being a creative person.
Is any of that what led or inspired your recent hit, Walk On Your Way, which reached number 7 on the charts? Or what is the backstory of that?
Well, Walk On Your Way for me is it's a song about, so I have two young boys, and my firstborn, Willow, who, speaking of people that likes to speak his truth, you ain't seen nothing yet until you've met my boy, Wilsey. He's, I call it Wilsey, but his name's Willow. He's one of these people that are going to do some pretty, it's going to be an amazing show to watch. When my first, you know, my second born is 2, and he's also fire, and they're both amazing, you know, as any father would say about their kids. But for me, there's something special there. And Walk On Your Way is something that I was really writing him a letter to his future self. So when he's, you know, mid-30s, he can look back on a lot of my songs and kind of, now I know what Dad was talking about, you know. It's sort of I get it, you know, and it's very simple words, you know, walk on your way, believe in your own way, you know, believe in your way. But the deeper meaning for me was that I wanted him to not feel, you know, if he's going to be different and he's going to, you know, he's one of these kids that he walks into a room and there's 50 other kids and he walks into a room and everyone notices, you know, and if there's trouble, even if he hasn't started the trouble, he'll end up getting the blame for it. And it's usually me asking him, what did you do? Did you do it? You know, because he's just got this sort of an incredible aura around him, you know. And so I just wanted him to, I wanted to write him a little note saying, you know, hey, Mr. Misunderstood, you know, even though he's, I'm not calling him misunderstood, obviously. Mm-hmm. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. More about, you know, if you feel misunderstood, you know, don't you know it's going to be all right in the end? You know, it's just a simple message to both of my boys growing up. But also, music is like a mirror when you write it, and so there's a lot to be said for what I was saying in the song. Was pretty much what I was almost talking to my younger self as well through the song, and sort of telling my younger self that, hey man, you know, everything will work out just fine. It's going to be okay. But you just got to believe in yourself. Really, it's a very simple message. It's been said a million times, but I think, especially this year, you know, I think those sort of simple messages are what's needed now, definitely.
Well, I'm going to be playing live Walk On Your Way, number 7 on the charts by Wesley Dean, Mr. Soldier from Another Lifetime, teacher, mentor, professor, and most importantly, a reminder. Walk On Your Way, everyone.
Everybody's born good. There's just a little bit of feel gets in the way sometimes. Hey, Mr. Misunderstood. Don't you know it's gonna be alright, alright. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way, believe in your way. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way, believe in your way. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way. It's your way, always. Better watch what's in your neighborhood. You know you get who you bet on in this life. And if you think you could, don't you know you would if you only tried. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way, believe in your way. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way, believe in your way. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way. Yeah, it's your way, always do it your way, everybody's born good. It's just a little bit of feel gets in the way sometimes. Hey, Mr. Misunderstood. Don't you know it's gonna be alright, alright. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way, believe in your way. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way, believe in your way. Walk on your way, lead on your way, walk on your way. It's your way, always do it your way,
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thanks, man.
Will
Thank you.
You're welcome. Will your family be coming out here with you in January?
Absolutely. We'll all be there, and yeah, it's as I said, it's a very crazy time to be relocating with all the restrictions and things and it's going on. But we're nearly there, and we'll be there, and I'm really looking forward to a new chapter in my life, and my family are too. But yeah, it's going to be surreal actually to be there and to be touring and being in America, where I've always sort of dreamed that I would be. I knew that I would do it for some reason, but I didn't know how I was going to do it. It was just something that all of a sudden has come about these last sort of 18 months in my life. At one stage I thought that was it for me, and I ended up deciding that it wasn't going to be it for me, and I ended up getting up at 2 a.m. every morning for about a year or so, and I started writing, and that's where a lot of these songs came from. Is in the middle of the night, as my young family slept, my two boys would be sleeping, and we just had our second born around that time, and so he was up and down all night anyway. And I just stayed awake pretty much and started writing music and really getting back home again to what music really meant to me, which was almost like I was rediscovering myself through what I wanted to say through my music. And so a lot of these songs fell into my lap sort of 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning, in the early mornings, and so it's nice to even listen back to them now and remember those times. They're like, songs are like diary entries, and I get to relive what I was going through at that time, what I wanted to say at that time. So it's nice to do that.
And no matter when you create music and record it and publish it, once Walk On Your Way, it can be we can be 10 years from now, and the moment someone listens to your song for the first time will feel as though it was just recorded, published, and out there as if it was 10 years before. And I think people miss that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm very interested in these songs being theme songs for people's lives to get them through a tough spot or to put on a dinner party. It doesn't really matter how they use the songs, but as long as it means something to them, and as long as it gives them something to sort of feel, they can feel like they wake up and they get something out of it, then, my work is done, really. And as long as I do my job by releasing music that has passion and that means something from my own soul, my own heart, then that's it. That's my formula, I guess. And I never know when I sit down to write a song, I never really know what's going to come out until until it happens, and then I have to also look at it and go, what did that mean? Okay. I try to add my own meaning to it sometimes. So I love the fact that these music lives on, and I hope that one day, long after I go, these songs are used for something, that is a positive thing in somebody's life somewhere out there in the future. That's a really cool thing to think about.
If you were to read the words, "The Art of a Musician," what would you say?
Sorry, what was that, Stephen?
What was
that?
No worries. If you were to read the words, "The Art of a Musician," what would you say after that? What does it mean, the art of a musician?
It is truth, full stop. You can't, and maybe integrity, but, truth really says it all, doesn't it? If you're writing about something that's sort of, look, I'm all for some of the music that wave your hands in the air like you just don't care stuff. Like, I love that, because it's truth to them. Some people will, but the 30th person that said it, maybe not. The person, the original, and a few times after that, great. But after 30 times, 30 artists that said wave your hands in the air like you just don't care, the 30th person that said that, it's sort of a little bit like, well, it's questionable truth. I mean, but who am I to kind of question their own truth? They may have, they've arrived at it from their own generation or their own point of view or their own perception, so that there's no way I'm going to question anybody's intention, obviously. But for me, my own truth is always speaks louder to somebody else. I mean, I've done that, and I've been there where I've tried to fabricate a song or try to write a hit song. When you write, I always say, if you sit down and try to write a hit song, you're never going to write a hit song, So I don't get the fact that there's 11 writers in a room. I've never really understood that whole scenario of using songwriting as a sport to try and get the next hit, because it may work, but on what level does that work? Does it work on a level of they kind of they've got a lot of money, so they're going to get the song out there into every single radio station, and then it creates a hit? Or is it actually really translating to people's heart and souls out there in the real world? And so for me, I think the art of music is the truth, is how you project your own story and make it real for everyone else's, to get them through, to bring people together, or whatever the intention is. Or you can't control what your music is going to do, or where it's going to find their audience either. You've got to relinquish a lot of control, and that's very hard for a creative person, because most of the time creative people are very much control freaks in a way. But I know from my own experience, I am definitely a perfectionist, as I said before, about what I create. So as long as it has passion and truth and integrity, and for me, that's but I'm going to really contradict myself here and say, well, yeah, but who am I to say what the art of music is about? At the end, I mean, I guess it's like, it's up to the eye of the beholder, or the ear of the beholder, more so than anything. So yeah.
Are you bringing all of your belongings here to the States, or how is the transition going to happen?
Funny that, because my piano and 17 guitars are on a ship right now, I'm told, called the Capricorn, and it's in the middle of the ocean. So a little nervous about that. Oh. It's just somewhere near New Zealand, I'm told, right now. So that's that my instruments and studio gear are arriving before I arrive, which is kind of surreal to think about too. It's hilarious.
You have a tracking on that ship?
Yes. Yeah, apparently. Apparently I do.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
And
it's pretty cool.
When's it going to arrive?
Apparently the 5th or something, or 7th of December or something like that. Yeah. And then it goes to Nashville. It arrives in LA, and then it's on a truck to Nashville. So it's crazy. It's crazy to think that it's just bouncing out there and on a ship in the ocean somewhere right now. All of my prized possessions, my beautiful vintage guitars and my white piano, and the things that I've loved for many years now are all on the back of a ship. Yeah.
Wow. And this makes it permanent, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's when that left the dock on the other day, 17th or something. It made it very real. Wow. Very, very real. But very cool. A very good feeling. Very warm feeling, sort of thing. Like it's like, oh wow, it's all happening. This is really happening. It's not just pie in the sky. It's definitely happening.
So when you come here, it's going to still be sitting in the crate or box, is it going to be set up for you before you get here?
So it goes to Nashville, and then I will then, when I arrive, I'll be relocating all the gear to wherever I'm living. Which is something else we've got to work out, and and then eventually get hire a studio. And maybe put it in somewhere there, get a studio in Nashville. And so it's all pretty much creating itself, really, Stephen. It's one of those things where it's just every day I wake up, and depending on the climate of the world and everything, we go from there. It's one of those, it's been like that all year. It's like, okay, well, all right, well, we're going to have to wait another few months. And, it's been a little like that, which is definitely something that I'm not complaining about. Obviously, it's been it's such an uncertain year for many people, and I've been blessed to I'm blessed to say that that's my only worry is, whenever when am I going to arrive in America, sort of thing. That's a pretty, there's no problems there, whereas a lot of people out there that are really having a difficult time. So I definitely feel for them, and I just hope that the world gets better sometime, somewhere, shortly. It's what a crazy time.
I truly believe in my heart the states and the people here are really going to embrace you, because honestly, you can be West Coast, Midwest, North, doesn't matter. You can go be in Texas, New England, California, or even Florida, and you will be able to fit in, because you really are the full package that can fit in anywhere.
Thank you, Stephen. Thanks so much. Well, that's very, very comforting to hear. So thank you, man. Thanks so much. Yeah, I cannot wait. I have many very dear friends in America too, and really looking forward to catching up with them. And I love being in America because the attitude of Americans it's just so inspiring to be around. I find anything's possible, and it's it's just a great country. That's all. It's a beautiful country, and I've only been to LA and Nashville, and a few other, passed through a few towns and things, but everywhere I've been, I think us Aussies, we get spoilt by you guys over there.
Mm-hmm. You do.
It's like we do. It's pretty handy being Australian. It's a pretty nice feeling to sort of, but I've great conversations even. You walk into a store and you end up talking to somebody for half an hour about whatever it is. It's a beautiful country, beautiful place.
I shared with your manager, Jeff, that you are, and I believe I used the word distinguishing, but you're very good looking. Your fashion is on point, and the accent, like, that's what I'm saying. It's like the art, you are the full package that will make it here instantaneously. You just are.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's an exciting time for me and my family, and we're very much looking forward to getting over there and playing some shows. It'd be fantastic.
Are you getting any crazy messages by people at all? If not, I'm sure when you come here to the States, like, is your wife, I'm sure, is understanding that you probably get some crazy people DMing you and maybe emailing you, or is any of that happening?
Oh, look, that I guess that's part and parcel of being online anyway. No matter who you are, it's a little strange sometimes. But what's that old showbiz thing? If you're not being talked about, then whether it's good or bad, then you've got something to worry about. Mm-hmm. It's sort of that whole, I guess, if I get trolls of only a tiny bit, and I'm pretty prepared for that this time round, once things pick up some pace and there's momentum happening and that sort of thing, and I'm getting more and more out there or whatever, there's always going to be those sort of people. But, they, it's like, you just don't, I don't know. It's just, I guess it's your own duty as a person, as an artist, to not indulge in any of that. If you're going to believe the good stuff, then you got to believe the bad stuff, sort of thing. It's the yin and yang. It all adds itself, and I don't like condemning anybody for anything. I just think, well, whatever. It's like, if they're going to be like that, then obviously they've got something going on in their lives, and you just send them love and just go, okay, well, that's their thing. That's their stuff. Full stop,
And I asked because while we were listening to Walk On Your Way, my phone kept going off, and so I went on, and then I ended up going to Instagram because I was getting a bunch of messages. And what amazes me is the message I'm about to read would be something that would be realistic that you would get. it amazes me that I get these type of messages. So Cynthia DM'd me on Instagram saying, "Hello, are you interested in being my sugar baby and $500 as your weekly allowance?" Now, it amazes me. It's like, I'm not someone like you. I don't look like you. I'm not saying like I'm ugly. I mean, people, but it's like that kind of message would go to someone like you. And I'm getting this kind of message. That's why I asked.
Yeah, but Stephen, you know, you've got 200 something thousand followers on Insta or whatever. It's like, it's bound to happen, my friend. It doesn't matter. It's bound to happen. You're out there, man. They've got you.
Oh, yeah. Especially when it comes from women.
That's
it's quite
brilliant.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's all happy. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I've been hacked a bunch of times on Instagram, which is annoying. Yeah. So I got hacked. A few, I don't know, whenever it was now, and I've been hacked a few times, and that's pretty annoying because, you know, you sort of have to chase it up and make sure that, you know, it's reported and all of that. And I just don't understand these people that have this amount of time to go and try and do that to somebody, and, you know, it's like, it's bizarre, and all they want, I guess, is try to, so it's bizarre, man. Like I find that part of it really strange and a bit, you know, scary, but I think you know, but I think as a whole it is a great thing that we've got this thing to get our music heard by people around the world anywhere. It's pretty cool to be able to have that as a musician. I mean, if I was 15, 16 and I was doing what I was doing at that age, you know, when I was playing in bars and things, I probably would have been asking my dad if I could get online to play a song on YouTube or wherever, and you know, do that. For me, that would have been a very handy tool back then, because I was writing my own songs when I was 15 and writing 8 or 9 songs a day, and, you know, I would have been, I guess, sort of more active in a way of, you know, going online and showcasing my music. So it's handy like that. But then, you know, all that other stuff that comes on board, you know, with all the hacking and all that, that's all a bit strange and scary. And I try to keep away from it as much as I can, you know, all that stuff. It freaks me out a bit. But anyway, but yeah, you know, it's for me, it's a good tool to have. Like what I said, you know, it's a very cool thing to have, to be able to sort of get your music heard. Like what I've done this year, released 8 songs and, or 7 songs at the moment. Eighth one is in next month, and to be able to do that and all online without touring and everything is such a great thing to do, you know, be able to do. So, yeah.
I won't be shocked that when I attend your first concert, there's going to be a group of MILFs there, so I'm going to have to get a backstage pass because I won't get through to see you. You're going to probably have about like a couple thousand Cynthias wanting you to be their little baby.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Maybe I should call my band the Sugar Babies.
There you go. I like it.
It's a good band. Good band name, yeah. Sounds like I should be singing 90s Euro pop or something, but anyway. Yeah.
Would you ever consider collaborating with either another male artist or a female artist and do a track with them? Definitely.
You know, I'm always up for anything like that with music. I think, it's, you never know, mate. You never know what's around the corner when you're in a room with someone that's like-minded, or, you know, I do love collaborating with people. It's just one of those things you just never know.
Is there an ideal artist, say here in the States, that you would love to collaborate with, or are you more interested with someone that's up and coming, fresh, not overly exposed by the industry, that really is like you?
Look, for me, it's either the absolute opposite end of the spectrum, like a DJ or something like that, which is kind of cool and interesting because you get to infuse your own personality into something that you probably wouldn't normally do, like what Avicii did. Even though I know he's rest in peace, he's passed now, but what he did was very interesting. I thought adding country to club music, that was a really cool thing. So a twist like that's always a good thing. And I'm really enjoying Chris Stapleton's new record. I think that's it's in the similar lane as what I'm doing. And I'm unfortunately most people that I love listening to and study have passed away. So I'm always writing music, and to be honest, I don't listen to much new music at the moment because I'm always writing it myself and doing my own thing. But when I do listen to it, I do love a lot of the pop stuff. I love what Bieber's doing. I love Ariana Grande, and I love all genres of music. I'm not one for sort of, being the kind of person that's like, oh, well, I only write this kind of music, so I'm only going to listen to this kind of music. I listen to classical music and jazz and everything, So I'd love to collaborate with all of the above almost, symphony orchestras down to DJs to, anyone that's going to sort of, because I learn from that. That's how you learn, is when you throw yourself into an abnormal environment that you wouldn't necessarily get to do every day. You can sort of fall into a rut with your own stuff all the time. So you've got to keep it fresh and interesting. So, but to be honest, if it was everyone was alive, it would be Prince, John Lennon, Michael Jackson. I would love to just be in the room with those guys, and just because I feel like I've learnt so much from those guys just listening to their music, and I've studied their music since I was 2. Collaborating is always an interesting challenge at first because it's getting to know somebody as well as communicating through your craft.
2 artists, when I think about what you just said, Lenny Kravitz comes to mind. I think you would do very well with. And,
he's amazing.
I believe Freddie Mercury.
Freddie, man, he is. I'm not one for like my wife gets really frustrated with me sometimes because I don't cry when I watch a film. So it's fun if I'm watching a sad or emotional thing. It's one of those things that I just don't do in a way. Like I feel it in my body, but I just never really. I always hold back the tears for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't know why. But in saying that, when I watched Bohemian Rhapsody, man, I was on a plane and I was like bawling my eyes out at the end. And it wasn't even that sad. It was just that last scene when he does. When he goes into Wembley Stadium, it really got to me. And when his best friend and his partner were side stage watching him, and he was singing to Wembley Stadium for the Live Aid show, that scene just really got to me for some reason, and I was bawling my eyes out. I'm not sure why, but I felt every single experience or something. I don't know what it was, but I had goosebumps, and it was this overwhelming feeling. It wasn't a sad cry. It was just an emotional one, I guess. And so yeah, he was a superstar, absolutely.
What I hear in a message that I got from that film, and I watched it a couple times, and with you reminding me, is he took, and I know the emotional feeling that you're talking about, is he took full ownership of his legacy in that moment.
He did. Absolutely. He lived and breathed his message, didn't he? It was but a superstar on all levels. When people say superstar, he is definitely the quintessential epitome of superstardom, definitely.
It reminds me to share this with you, and what a perfect segue to go into this is I'm on your SoundCloud, and you have 11 followers, 1 following, 6 tracks. But here's the important thing, because I'm a huge believer in numerology, that God speaks through many channels. So being at your 1116 is reminding you, this is a message to you, is reminding you that you are the creator of your life. You have to take control over your own thoughts and beliefs. It is believed that people with angel number 1116 are responsible and well organized in everything they do, which may be the key to their success. Lastly, it says, angel number 1116 is a reminder from your angels that your thoughts create your reality. Therefore, ensure that you hold only positive expectations about your home and family and life and your material circumstances.
Wow. That definitely is the right time to hear that one. Very cool. Love that.
And I like I said, I'm on here, and I do believe numbers, for no matter how big or how small, whatever they may be, in order, sequence, or whatever. And with that, I knew that was a message for you.
Thank you. Well, my manager's management label is 111, which is always interesting, and we're always texting each other at 11:11 or 4:44 is usually the time that we see, or every day, pretty much. We're definitely getting a lot of those numbers, the synchronicities coming through every day. It's been a pretty amazing story already, with my, pending relocation and the way that this has come about. It's been a pretty amazing. So even meeting you, like these sort of things that have just happening just purely because of the music. It's because I'm not touring, or I'm not on TV, or I'm not, I'm not doing any of that. It's just been from the music, and it's been really amazing how much I'm getting back from that. And so, yeah, those little reminders that happen every day have been very, I guess it's being conscious of them or not, whatever it is, but the more and more you are aware of them, the more and more they seem to happen. So you sort of wonder whether, even if you're not aware of them, they're still there, sort of thing, and I'm a big believer in, definitely, they're always something, somebody, whatever it is always showing you that you're on the right path. And yeah, I'm a big believer. There is no mistakes. There are no mistakes, and that's quite nice. I really like what you said. It's great. Thanks.
Well, since you brought that up, here is another message for you, if you'd like to hear it.
I love it. Keep them coming.
Angel number 111 is a message from your angels to be very aware of your persistent thoughts and ideas, as these are manifesting quickly into your reality. Ensure that your beliefs, thoughts, and mindsets are positive and optimistic in order to draw the energies of abundance and balance into your life. Angel number 111 signifies that an energetic gateway has opened up for you, which is your move. And this will rapidly manifest your thoughts into reality, which are currently happening. When you recognize angel number 111 sequence appearing to you frequently, take note of your thoughts at the time that they occur. When a series of 111 appear, monitor your thoughts carefully and be sure to only think about what it is you really want, not what you don't want. Choose your thoughts wisely and do not put focus towards your fears as they may manifest. Pay special attention to your thoughts and ideas, as these are revealing the answers to your prayers. Your positive affirmations, optimistic attitude will help to manifest your desires and help you achieve your goals and aspirations. They will also assist you with serving your spiritual life purpose and soul mission. Angel number 111 encourages you to assist and inspire the human race with your natural abilities, relying upon your inner wisdom and intuition to guide you. Be an inspirational guiding light to bring illumination to others and to help raise spiritual awareness. Trust that the angels support you in your light work. Finally, angel number 111 appears and is recognized and acknowledged. A repetitive number sequence generally progresses onto other numbers and messages as your angels then have new and different messages to send you, which once again correlates with the 111, the 1116 I just read.
Wow. That's cool. Love that.
Oh,
Yeah,
we're being
great.
spoken to all the time through many things: license plates, other people, strangers, receipts. Like, there's messages constantly.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, with number plates too, actually. There's always a Wes number plate with a 23 or some number that resonates with me. It's like everywhere. It's sometimes a bit of a joke between my wife and I, whatever, when we're out driving around, and it's like, oh, there's another Wes. Oh, there's a Shah, her name's Charlotte. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
God always speaks to me to let me know where I'm going to move to next when I see a license plate that you normally would not see around. Like when I when I got the message like here to go to California, I went to California. While I was in California, I was seeing New Mexico plates. I ended up moving to Santa Fe. Then when I was in Santa Fe, I was getting Las Vegas signs. I ended up moving to Las Vegas.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's cool. Love that.
And it wasn't that I saw these signs like, oh, yay, I'm moving to Cal. Oh, yay, I'm moving to Santa Fe or like New Mexico or, I'm going to be, moving to. It was, I knew because the frequency was that when in those areas, you normally don't see those people around there. It doesn't make sense. One or two cars, one thing. But like in certain places or maybe at a store or going to Starbucks and that person with that state license plate happens to be there in that specific location out of all the locations they could have gone to in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yep. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, there's wow, there's many. Yeah, I get to hear a lot of those sort of stories from friends and people on online, whatever, as well, and how they've either discovered my music as well, and the way I met my manager Jeff was crazy. Like he was in LA in Laguna at the time, and I was in a place called Noosa, which is also called Laguna Beach. And I met a friend of his at a bowling club in a place called Coolum, just a tiny seaside town on the east coast of Australia. And he said that he would like to introduce me to Jeff, who lives in LA. And I was like, okay, no worries. Just based on a conversation. He'd never heard any of my music or anything at the time because he was from UK. And then he introduced me to Jeff, and we got along well, and we just music fans as well. And then all of a sudden it just sort of spiraled, and we and it was like, it's just so weird that we're now, he came over to see a show that I was playing, and then it all just sort of spiraled into this sort of almost like he became family very quickly, and it's so weird that, first of all, we were both living in a place called Laguna on the opposite ends of the ocean. And he had sort of basically thought, well, I'm retired out of the music industry. I'm sort of not going back there again, And I was thinking the same thing, maybe I'm just going to retire. But I was still writing, doing the 2 a.m.s and writing and believing in that part of me still. And I knew that the work was, the work is never done anyway, but I knew that my work wasn't done, and I knew something was coming. I had this feeling that something was coming, but I didn't know what it was about. All I did was trust in that feeling and thought I have to be ready for some reason. And boom, Jeff appears, and then all of a sudden, my songs go out this year, and they're getting a lot of traction in America, and then now we're talking relocation, obviously, and it's amazing how things happen. And I think that the overall, I guess, the overall meaning, or whatever you want to call it, is to follow your truth, or as Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. And that's sort of, it's as simple as that. It's just, you follow your truth, and you end up in these scenarios, and you sort of one day sort of pick up after, and you think, well, how did I get here? It is a life. It's this thing called life, as I sing about.
What would be the most precious, valuable advice that you can offer someone right now?
I think it's just that. It's follow your bliss, maybe. My advice is to, whatever you do, get up and be the light, be the master of it, or be on the pursuit to mastery, whatever you do, and learn everything about it. And but above all that, be kind, and it's a kindness economy these days. I think people that win big are the ones that will always look after their own and be kind, and not claw their way to the top ruthlessly. I think that that mentality is fading fast, and just be a good human. As much as you can be. It's pretty simple, really. So yeah.
Who would you like to give a shout out to, my friend?
Shout out to who's going to hear this in America? To all my, to everyone in America, I guess. But I guess people in my friends in Nashville, Jeff, Marcella, his wife, that's just moved from LA to Nashville, and that's another thing, that Jeff's family has moved to Nashville based on my music, which is crazy to me. That you write a song or write a few songs, and then you have people on the other side of the world move entire cities to support you. I'm forever grateful for that. That's incredible. So big shout out to Jeff and Marcella in Nashville, and also Julia, who's also on my team, my small team of people, and yeah, we're creating this thing from the ground up, and it's a beautiful thing.
I love it. I really do. Thank you so much for being a guest here on Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco on Power 98.5 to drop a little bit of gem. An opportunity came my way to share with you that can be a win-win for all of us, because you always have a home here now on Power 98.5. I was just offered the opportunity. You're very welcome. It's exciting. Come on. To bring Power 98.5 as well as Live on Air with Stephen Cuoco to Roku. So I'm have the contract, printed it out yesterday, going to, once we're done, going to end up giving the guy a call to the channel. It's VizD, and the channel is Visual Dramatics, but it's called VizD, and really exceptional channel, and it would be really great. He's a DJ. You never know, maybe you guys can collaborate. He's incredible. Former cop from New Jersey, lives in Texas. So yeah, very skilled.
Cool.
Yeah, you would love his resume. And
wow, man.
So yeah, so that's on the table right now, and I will be heading to Washington D.C. The December 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yahoo Finance, a huge write-up article. There's going to be a videographer, photographer, so go in there for the photo shoot and everything. So it's going to be great to add that. So when you come here or whatever is going on, stay in touch. Your manager knows to stay in touch, and I would love to see, what we all can create together and do. And you're a huge inspiration, especially, to me, and what your music means to me. And even with the personable conversation that we had before we came on live. And I really, really am super proud of you, happy for your family. And normally it would be like, wow, you're moving during a pandemic, you're moving during this time. But I'm going to tell you, I don't use this word loosely, and I don't mean this in a religious way, but you are anointed. You really are anointed.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Very kind of you, my friend. Thank you.
Welcome. Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much for having me on, and proud to say that this is my first interview in America, out of New York anyway. So thank you very much for having me on, man. It's an honor.
Well,
cheers.
Thank you, and it's an honor as well. We're all over. We are on MyTuner, Streamer, Radio Line, soon to be Roku.
Great.
Apps, Alexa. I mean, we're all over the place, and my signal comes out of Manchester. So,
oh wow,
I would say Manchester's my home base, but my physical base is here out of the New York area. But that's the beauty of satellite. You're omnipresent. You're everywhere.
Of course. Yeah, it's great. Amazing.
Wesley, thank you very much. Hold the line, please. I'd like to close out with I Still Wait for You. I love this song. And
thanks, Stephen.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome. Thank you,
Thanks
everyone,
very much.
for joining Wesley and myself here live on air with Stephen Quoke on Power 98.5. It truly is an honor. And Wesley, any plugins, website, social media you want to give to everyone?
My Instagram is Wesley Dean Music, at Wesley Dean Music. That's the best way of contacting me at the moment, really, and seeing what I'm up to every day. So and on Spotify, obviously Wesley Dean. Go and stream. I've got 7 songs out at the moment. So for me, it's Instagram and Spotify, iTunes, all streaming services, not just Spotify, everywhere. I'm on. So it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
Thanks, Stephen.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Have a beautiful evening and enjoy Wesley Dean. I still wait for you.
All I want is you. We'll build a dream for two. And all I want is you. Gonna hold you close. I promise you, give you everything, the best that I can do. All my days, all my nights, I've been dreaming of you. Now it's time to start anew. Forever my dreams stay true. When I say I do.
Friend us on your socials and let's connect.